So I want to talk to guys about the opportunity which is in front of Jason Tatum. There is a lot of pressure on him coming into this regular season. And the reason why is because he no longer has a partner like Jalen Brown as his number two option. The narrative around Jason Tatum has been, well, he's always had a great roster. Brad Stevens did a great job building up the roster. But coming into this regular season, he has a number two option, whether that's Derek White, who didn't shoot well from the field last year, and we'll see if he can bounce back and be a better number two, or if that's going to be Paul George. And is Paul George going to stay healthy? And you have all these other unproven young players like Hugo Gonzalez, and people are hoping he takes a step. You have Peyton Pritchard, who is expected to be your starting point guard. He's a bucket getter, but this is going to be a new role for Peyton Pritchard. And then you factor in Jayson Tatum still getting healthier from the Achilles injury. You have to wonder, there's a lot on this guy. But it's also a great opportunity to prove to everyone, listen, I'm that guy. I don't need the best roster in the world to carry a team. And look, Jalen Brown did it last year, led the Celtics to 56 wins. If Jason Tatum can replicate that coming off this Achilles injury and gets back to the Jason Tatum we know he can be, top five in the world, that's going to change a lot of his narrative. Even if the Celtics don't make it back to the finals, I'm not expecting that for my team. But if Tatum can go out there and average over 30 points a night, get you 5 or 6 assists, get about 9 to 10 rebounds a night on a roster that doesn't have a lot of expectations, and let's say Paul George isn't healthy, he plays about 50 games, and then you're implementing Mitchell Robinson and Kata continues to get better. You get a surprise gem in like Ron Harper Jr., Sam Hauser's knocking down shots, and Derek White is so struggling to shoot from three, and the Celtics team still ends up a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Who's to say Tatum can't be an MVP candidate? You have a roster that isn't that good, and you're back to top 5. The thing is, people love a comeback story. They love narratives in the NBA. Go back to Steph Curry after Kevin Durant left to go join the Nets. What happened to Golden State? They tanked. They were a really bad team. They wanted to get some draft capital, ended up signing some guys and rebuilding that roster. They drafted really well. And then the year after that, Klay Thompson has another injury to start the season before it even began. Then it's like, man, tough break for Steph. Goes out there and balls out, plays out of his mind. And what happens after that? They get back to the NBA Finals a year later. They're down 2-1 against the Celtics. I believe Boston was up 9 points with about 9-10 minutes left in the fourth quarter with a chance to go up 3-1. Steph takes them home, and the rest is history. That story was amazing because before then it was like, okay, you played with Kevin Durant. You had an amazing roster. You were fortunate to not deal with Kyrie Irving after he got hurt in game one. And then you also didn't have to deal with Kevin Love. So LeBron had this roster you were expected to beat. And Andre Iguodala, even though you can make an argument for Steph Curry to win that MVP, Finals MVP that year, he still won it. So there was a narrative around Steph Curry's name. But when he won that title in 2022, things changed. So what I'm saying is for Tatum, these next few seasons are a great opportunity to change that narrative, to show people like, look, I'm that guy. I can be in top 5 conversations. I don't need the greatest roster. And if he can get this team to a point where guys like Bayer Shireman becomes a better NBA player, he has potential to fit alongside guys like Tatum, guys like Neemias Queta, Derek White. Let's say White can bounce back and shoot better from 3. Let's say he can raise Payne Pritchard's game to a new level. Then all of a sudden, the narrative around Tatum is going to change. And let's also say the Celtics get back to the NBA Finals in the next 2 to 3 seasons, and he wins Finals MVP. He's an NBA champion. Things are going to change for Jayson Tatum. You bounce back from the Achilles injury. Your number 2 option goes to Philly. And let's also say he still beats the Sixers this coming up playoffs. Let's say that happens. And let's say when they face each other, hypothetically, 2 of the next 3 seasons, just hypothetically, and Tatum wins both matchups and an NBA championship and an MVP and a Finals MVP, that's what stands in front of Jayson Tatum. He's got a great opportunity. Look, I know he got 21 points a night last year, but that was coming off his Achilles injury, right? So we're not going to harp too much on his performance because he played 16 games and he was just getting back into shape. But before then, in the 2022-23 season, he averaged 30 points a night. I need that Tatum next year. Give me 30, 35 a night. Go out there and show the world that look, Jaylen Brown was great, but I'm better. Go out there and shoot 36, 37% from three. Go out there and shoot 46, 47% from the field. Make those things happen. And if we see him at that level without his other talented guys we saw, and I'm not saying they don't have a good roster, but guys like Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Al Horford, just a different level. Those guys are no longer around. And if Tatum can show the world that, look, I can still carry this roster. I can get us to a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference, in a conference where things could get tougher. Now, I know there's a lot of unknowns right now, but Giannis is on the Heat right now. We expect Miami to get better. Philly has a dangerous team. Even if Embiid can't always be healthy, that is still a scary roster to look at. And you got to consider the Knicks, they're the NBA champions. But if Tatum can take this team and get them in the top 3 in the Eastern Conference, you can't say he's not in the running to win an MVP next year. Because we can sit here and talk about Victor Wembanyama, we can talk about Luka, but to act like Tatum doesn't deserve to be in that conversation with this roster, the narratives around the Celtics right now for the trade that just happened. So it's a great opportunity. Now, if it spirals out of control and things don't work out, they still have another offseason to retool. And that's going to be the offseason I'm paying attention to with the Celtics, because I know there's a lot of talk about private equity and it's a valid conversation. But we'll see next offseason what the owners are about. And if they're going to cut spending, not try to build a roster, then yeah, we're going to have a conversation about private equity in the NBA and how it's actually ruining sports. But I'm going to hold off on that conversation for now. I want to see what happens with Tatum. I'm excited for him. I'm hoping he gets back to full Jayson Tatum. Maybe it's going to take him a couple months to get in gear because Achilles injuries, it does take some time. He only played 16 games last year. So we shall see. I'm talking about regular season, not playoffs as well. So yeah, those are my thoughts about Jayson Tatum. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. What do you expect out of Tatum this upcoming season? And do you think the Celtics have a chance to make a finals run or be at the top of the Eastern Conference? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you on the next one.